Namaste, welcome to design of spur gears when center distance is given. Here we have a problem. Design a pair of spur gears to transmit a power of 15 kilowatt from a shaft running at 1440 rpm to a parallel shaft to be run at 360 rpm, maintaining a center distance of 160 mm between the shaft centers. Suggest suitable surface hardness. Data given. Power P is equal to 15 kilowatt. Speed of pinion N1 is equal to 1440 rpm. Speed of gear N2 is equal to 360 rpm. And center distance A is equal to 160 mm. Center distance A is nothing but D1 plus D2 divided by 2. So that data required: material of the gear pair, pressure angle and tooth form, class of gears, type of load and service condition. Center distance is given. We are not supposed to assume minimum number of teeth, that is teeth and pinion. So now let us select material for the pinion as cast steel, 0.2% carbon, heat treated. Allowable static stress for this material is sigma D1 is equal to 193.2 Newton per millimeter square from table 12.7 on page 234, design data handbook by Professor K. Mahadevan and Professor K. Balavira Reddy, 4th edition. And the gear material we have chosen is cast steel, that is also 0.2% carbon, untreated. So the allowable static stress for which is 138.3 Newton per millimeter squared. It's always better to choose high strength material for pinion. If pinion and gear are made of same material, then pinion is weaker. So hence you have to design based on pinion. So now let us assume 20 degree full depth involute tooth form, and let us consider class 2 gears, and let us assume medium shocks and 8 to 10 hour per day service, for which service factor is 1.5 from table 12.8 page 235. Sometimes in the examinations, so they'll give starting torque is greater than rated torque. Say sometimes starting torque is 20% greater than the rated torque, or 50% greater than the rated torque, like that. So sometimes they'll say starting torque, sometimes they say maximum torque. So sometimes maximum torque is 1.5 times the rated torque, like that they give. So that's 1.5 times or 20% means 1.2. Okay, so that is nothing but a service factor. So once in the question they mentioned this, you need not to take CS once again. Okay, that itself is a CS. Solution. So velocity ratio I is equal to N1 by N2, that's equal to 1440 divided by 360, that's equal to 4. And we have I is also equal to Z2 by Z1. Therefore, Z2 is equal to 4Z1. So in terms of diameters, pitch diameters, we have I is equal to D2 by D1. Therefore, D2 is equal to 4 times D1. Because I is 4. So now center distance is given, as A is equal to d1 plus d2 by 2. So now for A we have substituted 160 mm and d1 we have written as it is, and for d2 we have substituted 4d1. So now d1 plus 4d1 is 5d1. 5d1 is equal to 160 into 2, that is 320. So from which we obtain a d1 is equal to 64 mm and d2 is 4 times d1, that is a 256 mm. Also we know that number of teeth z is equal to d by m, pitch diameter divided by module. So therefore z1 is equal to d1 by m, that is 64 by m. Similarly z2 is equal to d2 by m, that is equal to 256 by m. So now step 1 is to identify the weaker member. For 20-degree full depth involute system, Lewis form factor y is given as 0.154 minus 0.912 divided by z. For pinion, we use the suffix y1. (0.154) minus 0.912. For z1, we have substituted 64 by m because z is d by m. So we get y1 is equal to 0.154 minus 0.01425 m. For gear, y2 is equal to 0.154 minus 0.912 by z2. For z2 we have substituted 256 by m, that is d2 by m. So now we get y2 is equal to 0.154 minus 0.0035625 m. For time being, let us assume module m is equal to 1 mm. Just to compare, okay, just to identify the weaker member. So let us assume m is equal to 1 mm. So now after substituting for module m is equal to 1 mm, we get y1 is equal to 0.13975 and y2 is equal to 0.1504 for substituting 1 here. So now actually in order to identify the weaker member, we want sigma d1 y1 and sigma d2 y2. So sigma d1 y1 is 190, sigma d1 is 193.2 and y1 is 0.13975. So we get 26.9997 Newton per millimeter squared. Sigma d1 y1. Sigma d2 y2 is so sigma d2 is 138.3, that is allowable static stress for gear material, and y2 is 0.1504, so gives us a 20.8 Newton per millimeter squared. So now we see that sigma d2 y2 is less than a sigma d1 y1. So since sigma d2 y2 is less than sigma d1 y1, the gear is weaker and hence the design must be based on the gear. Step 2, to calculate module. Since the center distance is given, we can make use of the following equation to find module m. That is, m is equal to square root of ft by sigma d cv k into capital Y, equation 12.5b, page 204. So here Ft is 1000 p Cs divided by V. So in order to find velocity, so we have to make use of this equation. So velocity V is equal to, because gear is weaker, that's why pitch diameter of the gear and speed of the gear we have considered here. V is equal to pi d2 N2 by 60,000. Substituting d2 is 256 and n2 is 360, we get velocity V is equal to 4.825 meter per second. This velocity is less than 8 meter per second. Then using Barth's equations, we get velocity factor Cv is equal to 3.05 divided by 3.05 plus V. So equation 12.6a, page 205. Since velocity is less than 8 meter per second, we are making use of this equation. So now we get Cv is 0.3873. For V, we have substituted velocity 4.825 meter per second. Now Ft is 1000 P into Cs divided by V, equation 12.7a, page 205. Thousand into power P is 15, Cs is 1.5, we have assumed that. Velocity V 4.825. So we calculate 4663.21 as a 21 Newton as Ft value. Now, module M. So is given by Ft divided by sigma d Cv K into capital Y. So Ft we have substituted 4663.21. Sigma d is nothing but sigma d2, that is 138.3 Newton per millimeter square, and Cv 0.3873. K we have taken 10 because you know that K is nothing but a ratio of B by M. So K is B by M. Therefore, K varies from 9.5 to 12.5. So we have taken K as a 10. That's why we have substituted K is equal to 10. So here we have K is equal to 10. Sigma d to 138.3 and capital Y is pi into small y. Small y is 0.154 minus 0.003565 m. That is y is nothing but y2 here in this case. Y2 is corresponding to the gear and Cs is 1.5. So now substituting those values here, we obtain module M is equal to 4.48 mm. So instead of using FT here in order to find out module, you can also make use of torque equation related to M. But we see that so in the torque equations you have used CS value. So now after calculations we obtain M is equal to 4.48 mm. From table 12.2 page 229 we see that a standard value of module nearest higher value first preferred choice is 5 mm. So hence select the standard module M is equal to 5 mm from the table. Now find out Lewis form factor after substituting M value here. So you get Y2 is equal to 0.1362. So in the table 12.2 page 229 also we have module 4.5 mm which is greater than 4.48 the calculated value, but it is better to, it's preferred to take 5 mm only. It's a preferred choice. So now face width B is equal to 10 times a module, that is 10 into 5, B is equal to 50 mm, because you know that K is equal to B by M, that's K we have taken 10, therefore B is equal to 10 times module. And small p is a circular feature, that is pi into M. Now step 3, check for the stress. So induced stress, sigma induced is equal to Ft by F suffix T divided by B small y into small p. Page 12.2, equation 12.5a, page 204. So now we have substituted corresponding values and we obtained induced stress sigma induced is equal to 43.59 Newton per millimeter square. So now we need to calculate allowable stress. Allowable stress sigma allowable is equal to sigma d into Cv. Sigma d here is nothing but sigma d2, that is for gear. So allowable static stress for gear material is 138.3 Newton per millimeter square, and Cv we have already calculated, that is 0.3873. So allowable stress is 53.56 Newton per millimeter square. The allowable stress is 53.56 Newton per millimeter square. So induced stress is 43.59 Newton per millimeter square. So since induced stress is less than allowable stress, that is 43.59 is less than 53.56 Newton per millimeter square, the design is satisfactory. So let us find out FOS. Sigma allowable divided by sigma induced, 53.56 divided by 43.59. So we get Patrascent is equal to 1.23. So now find out effective load or effective force. So F effective is equal to Ft by Cv. Ft is 4663.21 Newton, Cv is 0.3873. So F effective is 12,040.30 Newton. Next, calculate dynamic strength. Fs is equal to sigma d b capital Y into M. Sigma d is nothing but sigma d2, that's 138.3 Newton per millimeter square. This dynamic strength equation is 12.16, page 208. capital Y is pi y2, so substitute y2 is 0.1362. And after substituting here, we obtain dynamic strength as 14,794.12 Newton. So factor of safety is dynamic strength divided by effective force or effective load. That gives us 1.23. It is same as the factor of safety which is obtained for allowable stress and induced stress ratio. Since the dynamic strength is greater than effective force, so the design is satisfactory. Step 4. Calculate all the important dimensions from table 12.3, page 229. Important dimensions like addendum, dedendum, outside diameter, etc. Next, step 5. Calculation of dynamic load. Dynamic load Fd is equal to Ft plus K3V into C into B plus Ft divided by K3V plus square root of C into B plus Ft. Equation 12.12, page 207. So now we know that Ft is 4663.21 Newton tangential force or tangential load. K3 is equal to 20.67 for SI units, V 4.825 meter per second. So 1 by 1 Ft, K3, V, and B is a 50 mm. So only unknown is C here. So C can be calculated by using this equation or from table 12.12. So C is equal to E divided by K1 into 1 divided by E1 plus 1 divided by E2. So E1 and E2 are moduli of elasticity of pinion and gear materials respectively. So here steel we have taken both for pinion and gear. So we have taken modulus of elasticity same as 207 GPa, that is 207 into 10 to the power of 3 MPa or Newton per millimeter square. And K1 is 9 for 20 degree full depth involute, because we have assumed a 20 degree full depth involute tooth form. So now we need to find out error. And we have assumed class 2 gears. For module M is equal to 5 mm, and for class 2 gears, error E is equal to 0.0277 millimeter from table 12.13, page 237. That is maximum of probable error. And also we need to find out permissible error. For pitch line velocity V is equal to 4.825 meter per second. So in the table we don't have exactly velocity 4.825 meter per second, so which is nearly equal to 5 meter per second. Then so we can find out maximum permissible error for pitch line velocity 5. So that is maximum permissible error E is equal to 0.0640 millimeter, which can be taken from table 12.14, page 237. Since probable error is less than permissible error, so we can take E is equal to 0.027 mm. So now C is equal to 0.027 mm. 277 divided by 9 into 1 by 207 into 10 to the power of 3 plus 1 by 207 into 10 to the power of 3. That gives us C is equal to 318.55 Newton per mm. So now, after substituting all these values, Ft, K3, V, C, B, and Ft. So here we get dynamic load. Fd is equal to 13,106.21 Newton. Step 6. Calculate wear load or limiting load for wear. which is given by equation 12.15a, page 208. Fw is equal to d1 b q k. So d1 is equal to 64 mm, b is equal to 50 mm, and q ratio factor is 2d2 by d2 plus d1, that is 2 into 256 divided by 256 plus 64, and so we get q is equal to 1.6. Now step 7, so we need to compare dynamic load with that of a wear load. So we know that for safe design, wear load must be greater than or equal to dynamic load. So let us consider Fw is equal to Ft in order to find out K. So substituting for D1 64 mm, B 50 mm, and Q 1.6 and Fd 13,106.21. So we get K is equal to 2.56. But from table 12.16, page 239, the nearest higher value of K, that is load stress factor for steel and steel, that is steel pinion and steel gear, and pressure angle alpha is equal to 20 degree is 3.226, that is K is equal to 3.226. The corresponding Brinell hardness number, that is BHN, for both pinion and gear is 450. So BHN is 450 and K is 3.226. Now, so we have to find out Fw by substituting K value as 3.226. So we get Fw wear load is 16,517.12 Newton. Now Fw is greater than Ft. So since Fw is greater than Fd, design is satisfactory. Next, step 8, calculation of endurance strength. Endurance strength Fen is equal to sigma En B Y, capital Y, into M. This equation is equation 12.13a. Page 207. And sigma is the En is the endurance limit. So from table 12.15, page 238, for steel with BHN 450, so endurance limit En is equal to 686.5 Newton per millimeter squared. Capital Y is nothing but pi into Y, here pi into Y2, because we are considering design based on gear. So now substituting these values, and you know that M is module, that is 5 mm. So we get Fen is equal to 73,435.75 Newton. So now step 9, we need to compare Fen and Ft, that is endurance strength with that of dynamic load, and also we need to find out margin of safety MS. So Fen by Fd is equal to 73,435.75 divided by 13,106.21 Newton. This also Newton, this also Newton. We get Fen by Fd is equal to 5.6. Therefore, Fen is equal to 5.6 times Ft. But the recommended value of Fen for shock loads is Fen is equal to 1.5 times Fd. The obtained value of Fen is 5.6 6 times Ft. So since the obtained value is greater than the recommended value, design is satisfactory. And the margin of safety MS is given by Fen by Fd minus 1. That is 5.6 minus 1 gives us margin of safety MS is equal to 4.6. So which is greater than the required margin of safety. So required margin of safety is 0.5 only. So now we got 4.6. Thank you.